The Sonic series is a textbook example of a hit and miss series, and this applies to the boss fights as well. This series is home to some of the best and worst bosses I've ever fought. They can range from silver to, well, silver. So yeah, for whatever reasons they suck, whether it be bad design or bad concept, here are the 10 bosses I dislike the most. The Negative Bomber was a great fight for Sonic Colors on the Wii. Shame the head can't be said for the DS version of this fight. The first phase has you going down terminal velocity avoiding the tail. The problem is that if you're not boosting, the tail is hitting you, but if you are boosting, you get very little time to react, often resulting in many cheap hits. So regardless of what speed you're going at, you could be in trouble. And all the second phase consists of is you dodging easy to avoid attacks before boosting into the machine until you have all 5 whiffs and destroying the machine with it. The first phase of the fight is poorly designed, and the second phase is pathetically easy. It's a really underwhelming fight. At least the music is still awesome. What Sonic fan hasn't ripped into this slogfest of his own by this point? Though if you ask me, the boss fight at the end is worse. This fight involves you climbing up a dangerous tunnel to chase Eggman, dodging the fire and the spikes that it shoots at you. Fires aren't usually too bad, but those spikes can be a real nuisance, often making you have to wait, which isn't cool when the water level is rising. And since there are no air bubbles here, you better hope you can get out of here before you hear the drowning beep for the 785th time. So yeah, this boss is pretty annoying. Thanks for that, water. It's not even made clear that you don't actually have to hit this guy either. It's definitely my least favourite boss in the Genesis era. Sonic Generations are some of the best stages and bosses in the series. All 6 of the bosses were glorious remakes, and I loved how the fade to final boss original that tied everything together. Too bad the fight was terrible. The Time Eater, also known as the hold X button to win boss, was one disappointing way to end the game. All you do is hold the X button to boost and occasionally toss some attacks until you eventually, keyword being eventually, ram the core. And that's not even considering the fact that rings are more likely to kill you than the boss itself. They're all in huge clumps far apart, so if you miss too much of them, you are going to be down to hedgehogs. But that's not the worst part of this fight. That would be your friends. Oh my gosh, can the other characters not shut up for 2 seconds?
Sonic.
Now, I still love this game loads, but man did it deserve a much better ending than this. From one rubbish final boss to another, up next is the final boss of Sonic Unleashed, the HD version. Let's see how you can mess up the first phase. Step 1. Have the controller player move so slow so they take forever just to reach the boss. Also have them constantly stop to block attacks. Step 2. When the player finally reaches the boss, force them through quick time events while the game actually takes care of the boss for you. Step 3. Then make the player go for a poorly designed daytime level with a very strict time limit. Repeat the above step 2 more times and you have a solid recipe for frustration. And all the last phase consists of is you destroying his snakes to take down his shield, whilst Chip actually fights the boss, you know, destroying the whole purpose of a boss fight. And it all ends in more quick time events and a broken controller. Overall, the fight gets on here because all the cool stuff is taken care of for you, whilst you have to do all the not so cool stuff. I will give this fight some praise. The visuals and music here are incredible. Sonic and the Black Knight may be a guilty pleasure of mine, but the boss fight sucked. The Dark Queen was very close to being on here, but I think that fight is 10 times better than one that'll make you want to slam your head against the damn wall. This boss is insanely hard and not in a fun way. Basically, this fights your sword against his sword, and his projectiles, shield, and chaos control. So I hope you love your guarding because you're going to need it. Your best bet is to build up Soul Surge and train perfect hits on him before he puts back up his shield. How he actually 5-starred that damn mission is beyond me.
Alright.
Another pointless conflict is about to begin. Only the Reaper wins in the end.
One hit? That's it?
The Egg Sorcerer is one massive source of frustration. I mean, you just went through easily the worst zone in the game, including the atrocity that was the second act, and your reward for that is a boss with difficulty spike so huge that I wish I could use said spike to set the hand of this boss. That hand will be a constant nightmare throughout the fight. Sometimes you just take damage, but if you're in the palm of the hand, it's a one-hit kill. And that laser can be a real pain in the neck as well, because you get very little reaction time. Not to mention Eggman was actually smart with his contraption, for once. As in, you have to jump on him at the top of his cabinet, and not the side, meaning it's a nightmare just to hit him. There are many problems with the first Cena fight. You see, the first problem is that she doesn't attack you. All the fight consists of is her hiding on some snowmen, destroy all the snowmen within a time limit, and then hit her while she runs away from you at 0.3 miles per hour. I mean, as pathetic as the other bosses were, they at least attacked you and actually tried to put up a fight. But this is the 7th boss of the game, and she doesn't freaking attack you. It's almost like she's only here to waste your time, because that's the only way you're losing to this boss. And after going through one of the worst acts in the series, you get this boss fight that makes you wonder why she's even here. Because she doesn't attack you! Even as someone who knew the secret to beating this boss, it still took me numerous tries to beat him. If you try to attack him, he'll grab you and throw you around like you've thrown the disc across the room during this fight. And even when you do successfully land a hit on him, if you don't get out of the way quickly, he'll just get up and throw you across again. So yeah, you might want to make sure you have a ring before going for him. This fight may only take 2 minutes, but that's on your successful run. You're going to be losing a lot more time than that, just to get your successful run. There is one good thing I can say about this fight, but I'll save that for another time. Even though the silver fight is probably the worst fight out there, at least it can be over quickly. Iblis Worm, however, will always take forever. The pacing of this fight is horrible. You need to wait for him to summon platforms that you can jump on to reach the purple orbs, to cause him to jump to you, allowing you to hit him. But because he takes forever to summon these platforms, as well as to attack, which are also incredibly slow and telegraphed very far in advance, that process can take forever to get to. For his last attack, he'll try to ram into you, destroying multiple platforms, and if you die here, you have to do the whole process all over again. At least with every other fight on this list, you actually had to keep moving. But here, no, just a lot of waiting. This has been Inkling Gamer, thank you for watching.